This weekend marks the anniversary of an important symbolic moment in world history. Good evening, I'm Josh Rowe.
And I'm Latricia Thomas. It's been 25 years since the fall of the Berlin Wall that divided Germany into East and West. News Channel 9's Briona Arradondo joins us now with how locals are remembering. Briona.
Josh, Latricia, some quick history here. The Berlin Wall went up in 1961 to protect Soviet-controlled East Germany. Its purpose was to prevent people from leaving that state and defecting to the West. And those I spoke with today remember how war-torn that country was and how the U.S. made a bold move.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
A nation divided by iron and concrete. President Ronald Reagan uttered those famous words in 1987 before thousands of German citizens. Tom Griscom was there and served during the Reagan administration.
It was hard to imagine that just a few years later that the wall would actually come down.
But before these images of joy, nearly 30 years of attempted escapes and shooting deaths. The Berlin Wall separated loved ones, practically no one allowed in or out. John Pless tells me his family lived through that bitter era.
We grew up at a time when we were so divided. You know, my family, part of my family was in East Germany, part was in West Germany.
The wall remained a symbol against freedom and one of tension.
For my generation, it really was the symbol of the Cold War and the threat of nuclear war.
Until November 9th, 1989. Lucian Bailey was an American chaplain in Germany and heard the news.
And the people that we were staying with, the Warren family, said the Berlin Wall is coming down.
It's kind of mixed emotion. It was, you know, everybody was overjoyed that this division had ended, but at the same time, you know, people thought, okay, now what's next?
Men and women chipped away at the barrier between them. Lucian says he returned a few days later with friends to no man's land. That's when Lucian says he came across two East German soldiers.
He was very hostile at the beginning. There he is looking the passport over.
But then a symbolic turning point.
That's what I asked him, was he glad that the wall was coming down? And he said, I'm really glad.
And the Berlin Wall wasn't officially dismantled until the end of 1990. Tom Griscom says that President Reagan's speech was risky, but it symbolized a message of freedom and some resolving issues.
And we've talked to him about that before when we talked about Howard Baker.
Sure.
Such an interesting time for him. And Briona, you've actually been to Berlin, too.
Yeah, I actually visited back in 2009 to Berlin, and I have a couple of photos to share with you. This is one of the few standing sections of the Berlin Wall. I believe that was from the east side. And of course, the east was more communist related and the west was more of a capitalist society. And those differences definitely showed in the architecture when I was there. This is a picture of the east side of Berlin, and there are some other structures that are there that are more modern, more ornate, and then there's more simple architecture facades such as that one.
All right, Briona, thanks so much.